So you're moving to Pittsburgh in 2024. This video is going to be a complete breakdown on everything I would do to start getting prepared now. As a Pittsburgh native and relocation specialist who relocates people to the city every single day, you can trust these tips are going to be extremely helpful and valuable to your move to Pittsburgh, and we're going after it right now. Hey everyone, it's Riley Madden, a real estate specialist here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with eXp Realty. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to learn absolutely everything on what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play, all right here in Pittsburgh, make sure you start by tapping that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. If you're considering a move to Pittsburgh or any of our surrounding suburbs, make sure to reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, DM us on social media. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when making a move to Pittsburgh. So it being November right now, we have plenty of clients lined up for their move in 2024, and it's always good to be prepared a little bit early, a few months ahead, if your situation calls for it. So make sure to stick around for all 5 tips as they're all equally important. And make sure to comment down below what state you're moving to Pittsburgh from. We love to read the comments and love to learn where you guys are moving from so that we could create more content for you. So the first tip I'm going to tell you is your research, and most importantly, research of the areas pretty thoroughly. Now, we have so many different areas in Pittsburgh. A lot of them are similar, but just in different locations. But I would say the biggest distinction that you need to determine is whether you want to live in the city or suburbs. Now, we have 90 different city neighborhoods. So once you choose between city and suburbs, then you have to get into more details to really narrow down at least the top 5 areas to dial into. Now, if you're moving for a job downtown, you're someone that likes city living, maybe you're coming from a bigger city like New York City and you still want that city atmosphere, or maybe you're looking for something walkable, then you'd probably find a lot of luck in our city neighborhoods. And like I said, there are over 90 different city neighborhoods. So once you determine you are looking in the city, now you have to get into what's most important to you. Being close to your job, maybe there's select few neighborhoods that give you the best commute. Maybe it's walkability. Not all of our city neighborhoods are walkable. Only a few really give you that convenience and walkability factor. And maybe you're looking to be near different hospitals. There are a few main hospitals in the city, so you might want to live near them. There are so many different factors that could better help you narrow down what city neighborhoods are going to be the best, especially price range too. Our city neighborhoods vary so much in price range. You have some neighborhoods with pricing over $1 million and some city neighborhoods where you could find a property for $250,000. So it really comes down to those main factors, and anything else that's important to you. There's a few city neighborhoods that do offer new construction, but a majority of them are going to be resale, and some city neighborhoods are going to be right next to parks that give you that quick access, and some are going to feel very city-like where there's no space in between your neighbors and you have row homes and street parking. Now, if you're moving for school districts specifically, or you want more space, more land, maybe a new construction single family property, then you probably will be looking in our suburbs. And there is no shortage of great suburbs here. We have so many top-rated school systems, and tons of suburbs that start about 10 to 15 minutes outside of downtown. 2 very popular sections you'll hear about often are going to be our North Hills and our South Hills. Now, those offer really great amenities, great groceries, shopping, good commute to downtown, especially the North Hills, since you don't have that tunnel. If you're coming from the east or west, that traffic could get a little bit crazy coming into the city and leaving. The South Hills, you have the tunnel, but there's different ways to navigate around that. So if you are someone commuting, that's something you want to keep in mind. The school systems, there are top-rated school districts in all different areas. So you won't have a problem finding a good school system that fits what you're looking for. If you want lower taxes, that's whenever you could get outside of Allegheny County and start moving to the surrounding counties such as Washington, Butler, Westmoreland, and those are going to offer a lot more land, a little bit more rural aspect, but you also get lower taxes and more new construction options. And we also do have some walkable suburbs that kind of feel like that city suburb mix. And the big thing is price range. So price range varies extremely in all of these areas. And a lot of our new construction is actually pretty affordable. You could see options starting in the 300,000s, which is pretty good, especially compared to other major cities. Now, out of these city neighborhoods and suburbs, each of them do have their own positives and negatives. So it's something you do want to dial in on. And like I said, do your research, contact us. We could kind of walk you through those positive and negatives depending on your situation. Kind of having that laser focus on what areas are going to best fit you is very important to start this process. That way you know which areas to keep your eye on in terms of new inventory, in terms of prices, and it'll help you prepare for once that right home does come on the market to act fast. Number 2, a second tip that is very helpful is to visit if possible before moving. Now, we have plenty of clients who haven't visited at all, did the whole process remotely, and just walked in the home on the day of closing, their first time ever in the city and at the property, and everything always turns out very well just because our process is very dialed in with our FaceTime tours, our remote inspections, and making sure you know everything about the community, doing video tours of the neighborhood for you. But if you can, I would suggest to visit even just for a weekend or a few days to just get a better feel of the city that you'll be moving to and drive through the neighborhoods to really get that feeling of which ones resonate with you the most. Seeing things online is one thing, but seeing them in person is completely different. There may be a few little quirky things about the area that you just don't like, and you might rule out some neighborhoods that you thought online that you would like as soon as you visit. And we've had a lot of clients do this. So they visit for a weekend, even if they're not ready to buy, their timeline's about a few months out. But now that they visited and understand these areas, they know where to keep looking for the inventory and know where to dial their search into. So if a property does pop up in 2 months in a community that they visited, that they really liked, they could go ahead and act on that without having to come back and visit, but act more remotely on it since they already know the area and the neighborhood. So it's a good game plan to fill the areas for yourself. And then that way, if you're in California, the property gets listed and the market's hot, you could go ahead and place that offer remotely with confidence that you know the area and you know the value of that property. And another popular thing we see clients having luck with is doing an Airbnb rental if they're not yet ready to buy but want to explore the area a little bit more. So you could rent Airbnbs to month to month. So say you have an Airbnb for 2 to 3 months. That way that gives you time to home shop. Once you find the right home, you could place that offer. And then, of course, you would have at least 25 days to closing. So that Airbnb gives you some shelter while you're home shopping without being locked into a whole year rental. So we see a lot of people liking the short-term rental while home shopping scenario. And that way you could start building equity as soon as possible and not be locked into a rental. And what's nice about the Airbnb is if you do need more time, you just extend that rental. And I would say from my past clients, that has been the best route to go. Number 3, the third most important tip that I would do if I were moving to Pittsburgh in 2024 is to connect with a realtor who specializes in relocation specifically. Now, there are plenty of realtors in Pittsburgh, but getting one that specializes in the relocation process is extremely crucial because they're going to put extra effort into helping you understand each area, sending you all resources they can on Pittsburgh. They have a proven process and system that they've used in the past for all of the other families and clients that they've helped relocate that they could easily apply to you. I mean, they're experts in relocation. And the relocation process compared to local buying is extremely different. Of course, with relocation, your agent should spend extra time helping you really understand the areas, the market, the pricing, and of course, be well versed in video tours, video showings, remote inspections, giving you the contacts, the local lenders, the local inspectors and contractors. There's so much more that goes into it compared to local buying. I want to make sure you have that relocation specialist who could take that extra time and is going to be an extremely helpful resource, especially when you're buying from out of state. Getting that education on the different areas, the real estate market, the schools, areas that are appreciating, the different builders. There are so many aspects that go into a local real estate market. Number one, you don't want to overpay. You want to know the true value of the properties you'll be putting offers in on. You want to know what schools are the best, what areas are going to appreciate the most, what areas should you avoid, and so much more. And when we do remote inspections, we scan every inch of the property. We open every door, every cabinet. We check the mechanics of the property, scan for any red flags before you even place the offer, and make sure we have the proper contingencies in place that allow you to back out of the offer if necessary. And not only that, but the remote inspection, you want to make sure you have an inspector that could, if you can't be there in person, at least give you a call and walk through the report with you and any red flags that were found so that you could make the best educated decision. And one of the best parts about having this agent, this teammate in your home buying process on your side, is that it's actually paid by the seller, so it's pretty much a free service to you. I would utilize that invaluable resource if I was moving anywhere out of state. The fourth tip I would do is to start browsing the housing inventory online as early as possible so that you're getting a good understanding of what pricing in different areas you could expect. Are prices dropping? Are homes going off the market very quickly? And it just gives you an overall better understanding of the area so that when you're ready to place the offer, you have some direction. Now, what we do with the majority of our clients is get them set up on their own portal, which is directly linked to the MLS. That way they have one place and the most accurate place to view all of the listings. And this portal is actually shared with your agent. So any properties that you favorite on your end or leave notes for, your agent is getting those notifications. And this will also help you get accustomed to the inventory in each of these areas and what is typically getting listed, and again, at what price. So if you see a ton of row home inventory in a certain area, or maybe a lot of new construction in a certain area, it just helps you get a better understanding and just a mini study of the market a few months prior to moving. I think that's very important, but you also do have your agent to rely on that is constantly checking the inventory, seeing these properties in person. And the search will also help whenever that right property does get listed. You get notified right away and you could go ahead and act on it, make an offer, get a tour scheduled, whatever your next move is going to be. And the fifth tip that is going to be very valuable is to consider the weather here in Pittsburgh. We do experience all 4 seasons, sometimes all in one day. So you want to make sure, especially if you're coming from somewhere that's not cold, you have your wardrobes prepared and other little things like ice scrapers, shovels, and everything else you'll need for the cold weather. Definitely a few winter jackets, some boots, some hats. I wouldn't underestimate how cold it could get with that wind chill coming in and those colder nights. Just make sure you're prepared for all 4 seasons. It's the middle of November now. We're getting into this chilly months. I know I'm preparing by switching my wardrobes out and just being ready for that cold weather to hit. Now, if you want to know everything else about the winter season in Pittsburgh, we have a video right here you could click on that'll give you the whole breakdown of our winters with our newscaster from WPXI. And if you are planning to move to Pittsburgh in 2024 or anytime soon, make sure to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, DM us on social media. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when making a move to Pittsburgh. We are your relocation real estate specialists. We love meeting all of you, hearing your stories, and helping you move to the Still City. So make sure to like this video, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.